Over the past 8 years, Chief White House photographer Pete Souza has taken as many as 2,000 pictures a day of President Obama, some recording singular events in the nation's history, and some simply capturing a moment.
On Halloween a few years ago, this was the son of a staffer, and as he was leaving, he said, "Zap me in your web." One of the things that I'm just trying to do is show him, not just as a president, but as a human being. What's he like as a man?
In 2005, Souza was working for the Chicago Tribune when he began taking pictures of Barack Obama, then a new senator from Illinois.
I loved his pictures. Not only does he have an amazing eye, not only are his pictures evocative, accurate, creative, but he's also become a great friend and somebody I trust.
Souza took this photo in 2007 as Obama was about to announce his candidacy for president.
He's about to walk out, and his life is never going to be the same.
And in 2009, the new president offered Pete Souza the job of White House photographer, a job he'd had before during Ronald Reagan's presidency.
I never aspired to do this again, but the opportunity presented itself.
That usually meant a long day of shadowing the president, whether at the arrival of the Italian prime minister for an official visit, in the Oval Office as Mr. Obama made phone calls, or watching Mr. Obama and his wife pass out treats on Halloween.
I basically go in whenever I want and stay in as long as I want.
And the president had no problem with that.
He understands how to get his shot without being obtrusive.
But now it's about to end.
It's been an extraordinary gift because I have the kind of chronicle of my girls growing up that very few people have.
And, says Mr. Obama, Souza has also taken some iconic photographs.
Watching to see if the bin Laden operation was going to be successful.
You could feel the tension in that room, and my job was to not disturb the moment, yet try to capture visually what was taking place.
And of less solemn moments.
The little boy touching my head.
The president bent down, and Jacob touched his head to feel his head.
When staff members brought their children to the White House, there was sometimes a presidential visit.
I was in disbelief that the President of the United States was lying down in the Oval Office.
How do you decide when it's appropriate to intrude on a president?
It's more intuition than it is anything. But there's certain times when you know, okay, let's give him some space.
But Souza always had to be ready, as when the first couple briefly held hands during the commemoration of the Civil Rights March from Selma, Alabama to Montgomery.
When it first happened, I was out of position. So I kind of literally ran to line up my composition and clicked a couple of frames, and then their hands let go.
Or when the president, in a museum, impulsively boarded the bus which had carried Rosa Parks the day she sat in the whites-only section.
Just the one frame of him looking out the window, it evokes the past in a lot of ways.
To preserve the here and now meant understanding his subject and anticipating movements.
You have to be ready, and I think that's sort of like what keeps you on your toes. Because like that, it's like, boom, it happens, and then it's gone.
When a friend told Souza that after 8 years, he'd made every picture he could possibly make, he almost conceded her point. But just a few days later, at the opening of the new African American Museum,
I made 2 photographs that I'm still proud of to this day. The vice president was kneeling down, talking to the daughter of a slave. And literally like 30 seconds later, President Bush handed President Obama a smartphone and asked him to take a picture of him with a group of people.
On January 20th, one of the pictures that he takes is going to be the last picture of you as president.
Yeah.
What do you hope it captures?
I hope he captures my wave as I have a big grin and I say, I'm going on vacation.
That's a sentiment Bill Plante can probably share. As you may already have heard, he's just retired after 52 years with CBS News. That included service as White House correspondent under 4 presidents, not to mention many stories for Sunday Morning. Thank you, Bill. All the best.